Welcome back, everyone. BigSin Podcast, Episode 3, Part 3, coming to you live. I thought I was going to get him laughing again this time during an intro. He just started cracking up on me in the last part. I don't know why. It still don't... I just watched it back to make sure we had sound, because, technical issues. Alright, so touching up on what you were saying on Part 2 about the DLCs and things like in games don't come out with the full content anymore, which is true. It sucks. It's true. God of War didn't do that. God of War can't give you everything right away. If there was anything else, it was free.
Well, let me say this about DLC. Now, if it's DLC like extra story content,
I was gonna say, I think I know where you're going with this.
I don't mind that.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I really do not mind that.
But usually DLC is just like one or two missions and like some aesthetics and like an item or two. You know what I mean?
I think the best people. I think the people that did it right with DLC was Rockstar when they did the Lost and the Ballad of Gay Tony. Like those were damn near full-fledged games.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near, and they didn't charge you an arm and a leg. I think they charged you $20 per, which is not bad. Where you got fucking companies like Ubisoft with the Division, where you get those 3 different modes for $40, where Underground ain't worth no more than 10. Survival, yeah, I'd pay $20 for that, and the PvP mode, which I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, that should have came with the fucking game. That should have been free.
Destiny does it too, where like you're better off buying the season pass so you spend less money on the freaking DLCs, because even though the game pisses you off, you get it anyway. But here's my hot take on that. So, obviously, as you mentioned before, when we were talking about the PS5 price, they're probably going to be selling it below cost, like they did the PS4. DLC didn't really start popping off, like, until the PS4 started. Like, PS3 had some, but, like...
No, it started with the 360 PS3.
Yeah, it did, but, like, it's so much more apparent now that, like, you pay for more and, like, get less.
Basically.
With the new eras of consoles, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One is the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if these consoles are being sold below cost, and if PlayStation is being below cost, and Xbox has to be around below cost too, because Xbox is trying to outdo PlayStation with the power and things like that, so it probably costs for more material to make the Xbox, so they're probably definitely below cost. With the DLC, their prospective companies get a cut of that money per buyer. What if they're making games and planning these DLCs just to get... Because now you're not only getting money for your company that made the game, you got to give... Some of that has to go to the console that game is for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what if they're just ripping us off so they can make their money, which obviously they would do, but like we have to also not blame the gaming company for that, but also the console for letting it happen, because the console dictates their games and how they flow. A lot of these games are exclusives as well. They come out with DLCs.
Well, I wouldn't put it on like Sony or Microsoft themselves. I put it more on these developers. Like, I remember back in the day when Guitar Hero and Rock Band were like the hottest shit in the world. And Activision blatantly came out and said, listen, we want to charge you motherfuckers almost $500 for this shit. We don't think you should be getting it for the price you're getting it at. We want to charge you out the ass for these peripherals. Why? I'm going to break it down to you like this, all right? Let's say a game, we'll go with a game like, I don't know, we'll say God of War, right? Let's say God of War costs $60 million to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they sell God of War. Well, this is just, I'm not doing taxes or anything like that, right? So let's say God of War, they sell it for $60 a pop. 5 million people buy this game, right?
You made $30 million.
You made $30 million. So you basically almost lost what?
You gained, actually. Because it costs $6 million to make.
No, that's at 60 million.
60? $60 million.
Well, all right, I don't know how much. All right, let's just say, for instance, God of War costs $5 million to make, right? And you sell $60 a pop, 5 million people make it. You basically just made $30 million. Take out the 5 million, you make $25 million profit, right?
And that's your budget for the next game.
Yeah, that you could basically use that as the budget for your next game. But if you don't make another game, that's just strictly all profit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much it costs to make these games.
But here's the thing. So okay, all right. So let's continue with God of War. Let's say it did cost $5 million to make God of War. It could be a 40-hour game, a 50-hour game, a 60-hour game, depending on how you play it, right? 40, 50, 60 hours. $5 million to make a 60-hour game. We're going to go with the max here, right? You pay $60 to play a 60-hour game. Let's say God of War did the DLC route, and where you get to play as fucking Baldur. That's going to be $30. That DLC, if you don't get the season pass, that DLC is $30. Baldur that DLC will give you 10 hours of gameplay. 10. From the 60 to the original story. You're paying $60 for 60 hours, and now for DLC, because you like the game, you want more content, you're paying $30 for 10, if that. By logic, if you want to put out content that is worth the money, you should put out enough content that costs the necessary money. Meaning, let's say Dark Souls, big game. Personally, not my type of game. Rage-inducing, very rage-inducing. People spend hours upon hours upon hours on that game. Some people probably haven't even beaten it because it's so hard. $60. Release DLC, $30. But Dark Souls can release content that will keep you there playing it, whereas other games, their DLCs, you can finish it in like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, and you can finish it as soon as it happens.
Yeah, but I'll use Grand Theft Auto 5 as a perfect example. All the money they put in that game, they made it back off pre-orders. All of it. So basically, anything after that, and mind you, this is when it first came out for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, off strictly pre-orders. And a lot of people, they don't pay for the whole game outright when they pre-order. A lot of people, they'll put the minimum $5 down, or maybe they'll put half down. They don't necessarily pay for the whole thing. I'm one of those rare people that will pay for the whole thing, just so that way I know it's out of the fucking way.
Dude, I paid for a fucking shark heart so we can do a heist.
Yeah, so anything after that is damn near strictly all profit. That's not in. I understand they do have to pay to have the servers up. You still got to pay your employees, this and that. But look how much money they make off of, first of all, releasing it again for the PS4 and the Xbox One just a year later. And then all the shark cards that I know people are buying up shark cards like it's fucking hotcakes.
They're still doing it. And they give you deals on some of them, and it's like, it's tempting. It's just like, yo, it's a quick $2 million. I can start up a project with it.
But if you look at it, a lot of it is predatory, because you're looking at, in order to get some of that shit. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind the grind. I really don't mind the grind. But it comes to a point where it's like, yo, I don't want to have to keep doing the same old fucking thing over and over again to earn money. Like, how many times did we do the Doomsday Heist to get half the shit we have now?
Yeah, countless times. We did it so much. Like, we would do it, buy what we need to buy, be broke, and do it again.
Yeah, we went hard for 2 months. 2 fucking months. And we still haven't caught. And at that time, this is 2017?
A couple years ago.
28, whenever the Doomsday Heist first came out. We went hard for 2 straight months, and we still could not catch up to everyone else. Because I had stopped playing it for a couple of years. And we still had a hard time trying to catch up.
You know what it is though too? Like it's so hard to like make time for games when you want to play other games. Like you yourself have like a list of freaking games you need to play right now.
I have about 35 games I have to get through.
And like now with me, like I'm juggling games for like my channel, and it's also it's hard for me now because like, all right. So the games I'm playing on my channel right now: Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Resident Evil 1, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Super Mario Odyssey, which I already beat, and the videos are still going up though, and occasional multiplayer videos. I think there's another one. There has to God of War. And me and Ray are doing a multiplayer Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have shot myself in the foot by playing all the games. Like, I can't play any of those games without recording. And only one of those games can I play without Ray now because he's a part of, like, 4 of them. You know what I mean? So, like, now it's like, well, when I'm not recording, what do I play?
Yeah. And I mean, plus also, you know, we work 55 to 60 hours a week.
Yeah, and it's hard to make time for... I try to get a recording of Dragon Ball at least once a day because, like, I don't want to wait till the weekend to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, we work 55 to 60 hours a week. So when I come home, I don't want to just jump on and then have to start grinding for shit. So I unwind by we play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's how we unwind. So then when the weekend comes, well, the weekend I have to juggle spending time with my family. You know, I have a puppy that I'm taking care of. When the summer comes, it's going to be trying to juggle all that and then trying to find time when I can go out and ride my motorcycle. So, like I said, I don't mind the grind. I don't, but some of these games where it's just like, yo, this grind ain't worth it. It's not worth it. That's why I kind of stopped playing GTA Online because I played it from the day they first released it, and I put a good 100 hours into that shit, and I was just like, I wasn't going anywhere with it.
Okay, so, two things. We're gonna try to call Sean up because I want to backtrack a little. I should have called him on the first part and got his opinion on like what makes an artist great to him. But because I'm convinced he won't watch part 2, I'm also gonna fucking rub in the water on the table thing.
Save that.
Save that?
Yeah, for when he's actually here.
Man, I still want to rub in the water thing.
Save that.
Save it?
Save it. No, save
He
it.
convinced me. Wait, isn't he coming like... Okay, so Valentine's Day is next week.
It's this week.
Valentine's Day is next week, which he has plans in the weekend. I think he's coming the week after next.
There you go.
Next week.
Save it for then.
Next week.
You're gonna forget. Write that shit down.
I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget to write it down. I'm coming for you, Sean. I'm coming for you. I hope you watch this.
Yeah, nah, save that.
Okay. So with that being said, other than Call of Duty, what are you playing right now? What are the games you're playing? You try to play. I know you've been playing Red Dead, right? Red Dead 2?
Let me tell you something. Okay, so all the hard copy games that I have to beat, I have in my entertainment center in order how I want to beat them, right? So it started with Shenmue 1. I got through Shenmue 1, which I played back in Dreamcast, and I loved it. I forgot how boring that game can be.
What made you want to beat it, play it? Was it just like nostalgia?
Nostalgia. I never played Shenmue 2 because it came out for the original Xbox, and I never had that. So I bought that, and let me tell you something.
Do you regret it?
There is a literally part of the section where it takes 2 real world hours to get through. I almost shot myself.
You don't do anything in those 2 hours, right?
You fucking walk and you talk to some dumb bitch the whole time.
So do you regret playing Shenmue again?
Oh, yeah, I kind of do. I kind of fucking do. I will say Shenmue 2 wasn't as bad because you could time you can move forward, and there is a way that you can cheese to earn money. Shenmue 3, I haven't spent too much time with, but I do have to say I do like Shenmue 3. But right now, I kind of put, because I'm still so burnt out from Shenmue 2, and I beat that shit like 2 3 weeks ago. That 2 hour walk, man, that really tested my patience. That really tested my patience. So I went back to Red Dead 2. Uh, Red Dead Redemption 2, man, that's a fucking good game. That could be the best game on PlayStation 4. It could be. Like the whole I like running, trotting around on the horse, exploring shit. I love hunting. I love fishing. I love trying to find every little nook and cranny and finding all the secrets. Like this is my third save file. On my second save file, I found all the treasure maps, and like I think by chapter 4, I found all of them, and I found all the hidden treasure, and I had like $40,000, and I had already upgraded my satchel. I upgraded the campsite 100%, and at the time I was basically just hunting, trying to get every single outfit from the trapper. But I really wanted to play through the story again, so I started up a new one, and basically I'm just doing the same thing now. I'm just trying to find all the cigarette cards, all the animals, all the weapons, upgraded shit. Like to me, it's just fun. And I've been in I'm only on chapter 3. I've been playing it for what, maybe 2 weeks now. I've probably logged anywhere from 50 to 100 hours in it, and I enjoy it. I think it's a great game.
Now, Rockstar's always been really good with like putting out bangers, and like they do really good at creating lately a story, but also making content for people who want to do online, and they keep it separate.
I will say, Rockstar has never really put out a bad game.
No, they haven't.
I think the worst game they put out was GTA 4.
But I didn't really play GTA 4.
Bro, they put out a skateboard game back in the day called Thrasher Skate and Destroy that was awesome. I love Thrasher Skate and Destroy.
But however that may be, Rockstar putting out great games, putting out bangers. I don't know if I go as far as say Red Dead 2 is probably the best game on the PS4. I mean, granted, it's an opinion. My opinion. Yeah, granted, it's an opinion. But when you like compare Red Dead 2, because like Red Dead 2, a lot of it, okay, so a game nowadays, to make a game, you gotta be able to make a repetitive action repeatedly enjoyable. You gotta be able to make something that you keep doing. You know you're gonna make the player keep doing something they don't mind doing. So you gotta put twists on it, or like you just gotta make the game that much fun. Like Death Stranding came out, it was so hyped up. The game was hyped because it was a Hideo Kojima game, and I was looking forward to the predecessor of that game that didn't get released because of like dispute between the creators and whatnot. It was Hideo Kojima was supposed to be working on a game called Silent Hills. The demo was called PT, and it was a playable demo, and it was fucking terrifying. It was puzzly, it was terrifying, and then when you finally beat the demo, you see Norman Reedus, the guy who plays Daryl on The Walking Dead, and then it flashes Silent Hills. That game got canceled, and Hideo Kojima started working on Death Stranding. Death Stranding from day one looked weird. It looked weird, but it looked interesting. Now, the more that I learned about this game, the less I was interested in it. And then my Big Tone son played the game, and Ray All Day played the game. And I watched Ray play the game, and the more I watched him play it, the more you just seem like a glorified postman. You just seem like a fucking delivery guy running around And to me, it's just not my kind of game. And that's just what I meant by like nowadays you need to make something. When you make a game, it's gonna be repetitive. Some of the missions you do are gonna be repetitive, but you gotta make it enjoyable. And like Death Stranding, it didn't seem like an enjoyable task to me to like continue to be carrying boxes everywhere.
I was, and I said this plenty of times. It is not a fun. It's like not a fun game. It is not a fun game, but in a weird way, I did have fun with it up until I hit like the 50-hour mark. I was like, yo, this fucking game it's annoying as fuck. Like it has a good concept where, like the whole Strand network thing. I thought was a good concept where it's not just on you to build structures and everything like that. Like people within that server are contributing to the world. So, like I say, for instance, you are trying to complete the entire road on the second, like once you get to the Midwest section. It's not just you contributing to it. It's everyone else who has the game, who's on that server, who is contributing to that road, which I thought was cool. I really did. I thought it was cool. But once you've traversed the same land over and over and over and over and over and over again,
it's annoying.
It's
man.
annoying as fuck, and the deliveries, they never stop.
Okay, so prime example like how to do that the right way. I mentioned Infamous Second Son, I believe, in the last part or the beginning of this part. I don't really remember which one, but it was either the last part or this part. Infamous Second Son, you're doing the same thing over and over again, but the twist is they keep it fresh because you get new powers. So instead of like hovering everywhere and going through vents, now you're running on walls and like going super fast. Then you're gliding everywhere and going super fast, and then you finally get the post game ability where you like control rocks, and I think you can roll with the rock and just roll around in a ball, and it's fun. It's fun to get around. It's fun to just fly around. It's fun to just like attack people, things like that, save people, whatever you do, good or bad. Mario continuously puts out the same general game. You go from, and it's pretty much the same worlds too. You go from like a grassy world to a desert world to like a water type level. Then I think ice is, or clouds, and then ice, things like that. And like in Mario Odyssey, which is pretty fun, it's kind of like the same concept too, where like the first three worlds, depending on what you choose, can be like grassy, desert, water. Unless you pick you go the other option in the fork on the third world, because sometimes there's a fork in the road, but really it doesn't matter, because you go to that world next if you don't pick it.
I have a great disdain for Nintendo. I don't like Nintendo. I really fucking don't. Like, how... I know how they do it because they're such a family-friendly company.
Mm-hmm.
So, they continue to keep putting out Donkey Kong games and Mario games and
But
Zelda
you know
games.
what? You know what it is, I think? You know what I think it is with Nintendo? Yeah, they're riding like Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda. They're riding the waves. They like don't seem to end. But it's also like I think it's the multiplayer content that they're putting. It's just like it's not like throw your life into it worthy, but it's like if you have a group of friends, it's fun. It's a fun time.
It is, but I mean, yo, come on. Like, stop.
Like I hear Super Smash Brothers is supposed to have Crash as a character.
Yo, I'm gonna say this, man. I don't think Nintendo has put out a brand new IP in God knows how long. I don't think they have. Like Nintendo, the actual company.
If they did, it's not noteworthy.
And the develop, they don't put out new IP, so they're basically living off fucking names from 30, 20 years ago. I thought the Nintendo Switch is garbage. I had it. I thought Nintendo Switch was garbage. I think the last good console they had out was the 64. I never played the GameCube because that controller looked like fucking trash. The Nintendo Wii was fucking trash. I never played the Wii U, but that looked like trash.
The Wii U tanked.
And the fucking Switch, I'm sorry, the Switch is fucking god awful. I had the Switch. It's fucking stupid.
No, but well, like, listen, it depends on the games you play. It's just like the technology of the Switch was very impressive. The technology of the Switch. Now you haven't played the games that like really showcase the capabilities of it.
Well, I did play Breath of the Wild. I will say I did enjoy Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, a great game.
That was a great game.
But it didn't showcase the capabilities of the Switch. Now, when I say the capabilities of the Switch, back when Ryan was hosting like a game night in this cafe in Ocean City, he brought his Switch in and there was this game. There was like tons of mini games you could do with the controller, and the controller was so sensitive to motion that like it was very advanced in a way, because like on the TV you'd have like balls in the controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see it. It doesn't show you on TV, but like if you hold the controller to your ear and mess around with it, you hear the balls roll in the control. You feel the vibration. And the mini game was to guess the amount of balls in the controller. So if you did it right, you get the motion right, you tilt it a little, you can hear the doom, 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 and you can count it. Now that level of technology, the Nintendo Switch had so many possibilities that they could have like expanded on that game wise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I think they have the resources and technology to be a great console that contends with PlayStation and Xbox. I just think because of their fan base is so family friendly that they won't leave that area of like games that they continue to sell. And they're gonna make the Mario Party 20. They're gonna make the Mario Kart 76. They're gonna make the fucking Upteenth Mario game, the Upteenth Donkey Kong game, Zelda meets fucking Mr. Fox from space.
See, the whole thing with Nintendo is they're not for hardcore gamers. They're just not. They make some games that are for hardcore gamers, like Zelda. That's geared more towards hardcore gamers because you're going to put hundreds of hours into Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like I probably could have put close to 200 hours in that game. I think I only put like 60. Because at some point I was like, all right, I just want to finish this now. I'm done with this. But like Mario Odyssey, you let me borrow it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. It was all right, but I didn't think it was anything special. I thought it was just a typical fucking Mario game.
I liked it because of the extra mechanics that Cappy added to the game style. It was without Cappy, well, more often than not, you can do things without using the hat. I think they have like hatless speed runs.
Yeah.
But the Cappy himself added an extra dynamic of gameplay where like if you were good enough with the mechanic, you can do certain things and like take certain shortcuts and like get certain places. And to me, that was fun.
To me, it's just another fucking Mario game. To me, that's all it was.
Yeah, if you take out the hat, it's definitely just another Mario game.
It's just another Mario game, and I mean, you better add a new fucking mechanic because if you're just gonna keep putting out the same direct for 30 years, and obviously people are gonna have a problem with it. But I don't know. To me, Nintendo is just.
But it also when you get to the end and you see the Mushroom Kingdom, it was like so nostalgic. Because like they even gave you the Mario 64 outfit and he looked all blocky and shit, and like all the moons in the Mushroom Kingdom were stars and they had the old sound. Now with that being said, when I went to the castle itself and told me that Princess Peach was missing again, and that this bitch just packed the suitcase and left on her merry way happy as can be, I was like, this fucking stupid ass fucking.
Well, see, the
I'm
thing,
over it.
the thing with Nintendo is right. They do play. I feel like they play off nostalgia because someone who grew up playing the Nintendo games, like when their kids want to start getting into video games, they see, oh well, Mario is kid friendly. Like for me, like I don't let my son play any violent shit. I don't let him watch violent shit. I don't let him listen to wild music or anything like that. So for my son, he plays Minecraft, he plays Lego games, and he plays racing games. That's basically all he's going to play.
But with that being said, let's look at the topics that Mario has touched.
But that's what I'm getting into. So for someone who grew up playing that shit, okay, this is family friendly. Let me put my son on this, or let me put my daughter on this. So then they grow up playing it. So then when they have kids, and it comes their time, when their kids want to play video games, now they're introducing that to them. So they're basically just playing off people keep introducing these fucking games to their kids. So I get it. It's a great moneymaker. I understand that. But at some point, it's like, yo, you step your fucking game up. Put out a new fucking IP. Like, I was so mad when that game Mad World for the Wii was released on the Wii.
It was such a good game.
And a fucking month later...
I played it. Good game.
A month later, I was buying it at 5 and below. That's another thing about Nintendo. They're not pushing third-party games.
They're not.
They don't make it easy to for third-party developers to develop for their consoles. They don't. It blows my fucking mind how they... I mean, don't get me wrong. It's impressive how you live off the same, like, 4 or 5 IPs for fucking 20, 30 years. That is very impressive.
Don't forget Pokemon.
And Pokemon, too. But at some point, it's like, bro, put out a new fucking IP. I don't get it. Change it up. Do something. Like, even if you want to still keep it family friendly, okay, I understand that, but holy fuck.
And it's not like... So, like, it doesn't seem like their plot ever really changes in any of their games. Like, a lot of the games have the same plot.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. How many fucking times does Princess Peach have to get fucking kidnapped before you just gotta, yo, bitch, you staying in this goddamn room locked up?
You ever seen Mad Mario?
What is it called?
Mad Mario. I think it's Mad Mario. Yo, keep going around. I'm gonna play a video for us.
There's just only so many times I want to save this dumb bitch. There's only so many times you want to fucking save Princess Zelda. It's just Nintendo, in my opinion, fucking sucks. That's just and then their whole... Another thing that bothered me about the Switch was the friends code. It shouldn't be that hard to try to... I shouldn't have to have my buddy text me his friends code just to become friends. Why can't we just have gamer tags? I type the gamer tag in. Oh, there goes my buddy. Boom. Send him a friend request. He accepts it. We're done with that. No, I literally have to text... I think when Ryan sent me a friend request, I had to text him my friend code. I couldn't even find the fucking shit at first. I had no idea where it was. I didn't even know what a friend code was.
It's that friend code.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
You have my name, dog.
and the only reason why I kept my Switch as long as I did is because when they said they were going to put out, old NES games, my automatic thought was, they're putting out Mike Tyson Punch-Out. That's the only reason I'm keeping this shit. And they hadn't put it out. So I'm like, I wound up selling it right before Christmas. But, I don't know. I don't understand it. Why can't you put out new IPs? I mean, Microsoft or different video game companies that put out games for Xbox and PlayStation are, we're usually every generation we get anywhere from 10 to 15 new IPs. Maybe if that, 10 to 15, maybe pushing it.
No, but you get a decent amount. Like some of them don't make it as big. But
I say maybe not 10 to 15. We'll go like maybe 5 to 10. With new IPs that maybe they don't turn out to be as good, but with the the updates and the DLC, they turn out to be actually great games.
And then like the sequel comes out, and it's usually like it steps up its game.
Yeah, then the sequel basically steps up the game, and it's shit gets ramped up, and they just basically build upon their foundation that they've already set.
Now, this is called Mad Mario. There's 5 parts. We're going to listen to the first part. And if you want, you can listen to it later, and if you guys want, You can listen to it. It literally has all 5 parts in one. I'm gonna stop at the first part.
Oh, I have seen this.
You guys see
Mario,
this?
I have captured the prisoner. Now hold on a second, you!
Yeah, I've seen
You!
this.
What the fuck is your problem? You stupid cunt! Wow, you're really mad. What number is this? Do you get off on being captured? You stupid bitch! Easy there, buddy. Do you think I don't have a life? Do you think I don't have shit to do? I'm a goddamn plumber! Do you need me to step outside? I've killed so many motherfucking turtles! If I see another one of those goddamn things! They're just doing their job, man. And don't even get me started on you, you fat fuck! You think I'm fat? This is the last time! The last goddamn time I'm saving your stupid ass! We're gonna go home and guess what you're sucking? My balls! When are we gonna do our fight? If you wanna fight somebody, go find my fucking retard brother! I'm sick of this shit!
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. You ever seen the crackhead Mickey ones?
No.
Oh my god, man.
I'll
Those
check
shits
them
are
out.
hilarious.
I will check them out, though. But yeah, I guess right now we're in that day and age where a lot of game developers are kind of scared to take chances. It's almost like the same thing that Hollywood is doing. Like they're scared to take chances, to be innovative. And you have some game companies that absolutely will do innovative shit, and then other people will copy it and build upon that, and sometimes even make it better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like we just live in a day and age where everybody's basically just going to copy everybody. No one's willing to take a chance. Everyone wants to put out a AAA title.
You know what I think it is? I think like we live in such a sensitive generation that like they don't want to chance it. They know that like something in the past is safe, so like they just remake it.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. You have to, you can somewhat blame society. Like GTA 6 is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. But I've been looking forward to GTA 6 since GTA 5 was released. Because after GTA 5 was released, they had already started talking about number 6. Like how they said back then, back in 2013, how they wanted, 2014, how they wanted to have it where you can fly to multiple cities. So yeah, that's why I've been looking forward to that ever since then. I forgot where I was going with that.
That's alright, because we got to wrap up this part anyway. Anything you want to say real quick?
Yeah, man, I don't remember where I was going with that. I had a brain fart. I don't even know how we got started on that. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, they've been talking about GTA 6 since 2014, right? And Rockstar came out like a year or two ago and said because of the climate of our society today, that they're not going to make a game based during this time period. So GTA 6 is looking like it's going to take place in the 90s. Like,
I think that's cool. I think ignore all the fucking shit that's going on right now and having to put it in your game and upsetting the LGBT community or the fucking Black People Have Rights community or the Hispanics Lives Matters community.
No, it's not even that. It's they can come out and say it. They don't want to say anything about Trump because you'll have all these crazy ass. Now, I'm not saying all Trump supporters are crazy, but, some of them are like, they're just diehard Trump guys. Just like there were some diehard Obama guys. Like, Obama could do no wrong. Trump could do no wrong. And both those presidents, they absolutely have their flaws. And they absolutely have done shit wrong and fucked up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I absolutely do think this would be a perfect time period to base that game off of, because I would just fucking make fun of everybody. I would.
Yeah, you have such a fucking savage game, bro.
I would satirize every fucking body.
That shit would be raw.
Blacks, whites, Mexicans, everybody. I would make fun of fuck everybody. We live in a day and age where everyone's so fucking sensitive.
Yeah, we do.
Like I get it. There's certain, like, growing up, yeah, we used to say when motherfuckers did something stupid, oh, that's gay. Okay, I understand how that could be offensive, and yeah, that shouldn't be in the lexicon or whatnot. But then there's certain shit where just fucking like you call a woman a female and she just fucking goes ballistic.
No, people are just too sensitive because like no, it shouldn't even. Okay, like if you say it a certain way, yeah, it can be offensive. But like there was this thing where like how nowadays people get like a gender transition and it's like very some of them are like really good. Like you can't tell for some of them. Mm-hmm. So like I was talking to this girl one time and like she was cute, but like it was almost like she almost seemed like she had a man feature and like I couldn't tell. So like granted I probably could have asked, I told you about this. I probably could have asked a certain way better. But I flat out said, like, yo, you're cute. But were you born a woman? She fucking went off. She was like, yes, I was, but any chance you thought you had is long gone because I support the trans community. You don't have any idea how hard it is. I'm like, hold on. How hard they have it? How hard they have it? They out here trapping niggas, bro. They're out here trapping people. I have nothing against trans people. I just want to be with a woman who was born a woman. I don't think that's so bad.
No. Like I said, I have nothing wrong with the LGBTQ community. You know, they do your thing. It is what it is. You know
do your thing, man. Fuck
like I think they should have the same rights as everyone else does.
No, 100%. Like my best friend in high school was gay. He came out to me in like senior year, told me he was gay, and then like I was his crush for like a year. So you know what I did for like the rest of that year? Yeah, we were on the same tennis team. You know what I would do? When we had to change, I like strip in front of him. Yo, Steven, is this doing anything for you? You can look, but you can't touch.
Oh God.
Shout out to Steven Rodriguez, bro. I hope you're doing great.
Yeah, I have no problem with them. I think they should have the same rights as everyone else does. You should be able to get married and love who you love. But yes, there are transgender people who just won't tell you.
Yeah.
They absolutely will not tell you. I know many people don't know this story, but there is a rapper from the Far Side. His name is Fat Lip, who he met someone in the early '90s who he thought was a woman, and turned out she was he thought that this was a genuine woman, and she wasn't. So
shit a dick, bro.
I don't. He didn't get into all that, but like
pull down her pants, try to go down on her. Ha! Surprise!
And I'm not saying all of them do it. It's probably a very small percentage of transgender people that do that. But at the same time, like, yo, I like women, not men that's been transitioned into women. I like women that were born women. That's what I like.
Regardless of how few they're doing it, how few of them are doing it, we've come to this this generation that's so sensitive, and like people want to defend those people because they have it so hard. No. What you're doing is you're lying to someone. You're basically cornering them, and like in a way, it can be considered like rape. You're putting someone in an involuntary situation.
Yeah, and another thing that which we probably should save for a different podcast, but since we're on this topic now, another thing that I don't agree with is a kid who will go and tell their parents that, I feel like a girl. Well, first of all, that kid's like 5 fucking years old. He has, I'm not saying he doesn't have a clue, but a lot of these kids,
No. They don't have a clue. And I talked to this about my mother because she was concerned about my baby sister. But I think that's because like my sisters are also my older sisters and her are into girls somewhat.
Yeah.
Now, my sister growing up with me, I raised her. I helped raise her, and like I think I helped shape the type of person she is. She's into sports and she's into video games, right? Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of who you are is how you grew up, the people you're around. She's into like things like that because she was always around me. Now, my sisters convinced my mom that like my baby sister would probably be into girls and growing up because she's like she likes to dress like a guy, things like that. I was like, listen, that she hasn't hit puberty yet to even know what she's into. You can't. I don't care what your kid says they think they are. You don't know who you're into, what gender it is that you're attracted to until you have raging hormones. That's when you know what you're into. When something turns you on, that's how you know.
Like, growing up like, I know when I was growing up, I was never like this, but, you know, some boys were like, ew, we don't like girls. Girls have cooties. That doesn't necessarily mean that
they weren't gay. Cooties was a thing.
That doesn't mean that they like men. You know, we're kids. We didn't know they were. Yeah, they were kids. They didn't know any better. Like, I've heard stories where a fucking kid, when he was like 5 years old, said that, I don't like girls, so the mom, or I want to be a girl. So the mom started giving this motherfucker hormone pills, and then when he gets to high school, he's like, I like girls. Like, I want to have sex with a girl, but look at me. How can I? He's already been going through 10 years of taking hormone pills, and he's basically a goddamn girl now.
It was too soon. It was too early. You know, kids don't know. They don't know how they're feeling. They don't know, and like, we as adults has failed some of these kids by allowing them to have that much input on their life at such a young age. Because I've played with dolls growing up. I didn't think I was a girl. You know, my cousin had dolls. It was a toy to play with. Fuck.
Yeah, like my son told me one time he wished he was a girl, but I didn't. You know, I didn't think anything of it. He was like 2 or 3 at the time.
I want to be a girl when I see a pair of tits. Like, yo, I wish I had a juicy pair of tits. You know what I mean?
But, you know, I didn't run to my wife and say, oh my God, you know, they said he wants to be a girl. What are we going to do about this? No, my son is 7 years old now. Talking about he has like 3 or 4 girlfriends at school.
Mm.
And that may change too. He may get to high school like, yo, if he comes to me and says, Dad, I'm gay. I don't care. It's on you, man. You know what I mean? It sucks because, you know, I'm never going to have a blood-born grandchild, but I'm still going to love. He might. It's not the same. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, you know, there's going to be a time where me and my wife, we've talked about this and been together, that I would like to adopt a child to, you know, kind of change their life and, you know, basically, you know, just to change a kid's life.
You gotta get them young though, man. Those older ones, they're hooligans. They give up on the world.
Yeah, some of them do. And you know, my aunt dealt with a girl that was like that. But I feel like, you know, you can change one person's unfortunate situation. You know that, you know, you've done a good thing.
No, but, yeah. To anyone who's thinking about adopting, it's just if you see any of those troublemakers that intimidate you, it's not dumb. They don't think they can have something good, so they act out because it's easier to justify it when you have it coming. So, if you're thinking about adopting a kid and you know you wanna change this troublemaker's life, just know the best thing to do for that person is to not give up on them.
Yeah, I mean, yo, growing up, I was an angry kid. I had a temper.
Lo and behold, an angry black man. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I was mad at the world. I had a temper. You know, I couldn't figure out, you know, why my mom and dad weren't together. I always thought the reason why my mom and dad didn't like each other was because of me and my sister. You know, and so I was just always angry. I got picked on. I got made fun of, and you know, after a while, yeah, I got tough skin and all that shit kind of stopped when, you know, I started dunking on motherfuckers. But you know, just I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, yeah,
we're just a sprinkle of life lessons sometimes. That's what we are, a sprinkle of life lessons.
Yeah, like at one point I thought I knew everything, and boy, when I became an adult, I didn't know shit.
Adulting sucks so much, man.
Yeah, there is
too much to do, man.
There there is no handbook on how to live your life. You basically just have to live your life how you see fit.
You gotta figure it out.
And, you know, like I said, I do want to adopt because I feel like if I can change one person's situation and show them that there is good in this world and that there is hope in this world, that when they get older, they'll do the same thing. Basically.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Not this episode. This part. Apologies. There's one, maybe two more parts to this episode to come. That was your moment of life by the BigSin Podcast. Sprinkled in with some gaming topic and some tongue action, some hot tongue action. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next part.